Let me ask you something. If I told you there was an ETF out there that was outperforming the S&P 500 and it had a 10.5% yield, would that be an ETF that you think you would take? Today we're going to be talking about one of the most overlooked ETFs on the market, and the reason it's overlooked because it just became a little bit more popular today. That ETF is OVL, which is the Overlay Shares Large Cap Equity ETF. And today we're going to be breaking it down and seeing if this could be the best S&P 500 options ETF for you and for your portfolio. All right, let's get to it.
This video is purely educational content. It should not be considered personal finance advice. I'm not a licensed financial advisor, and I don't know your financial situation, risk tolerance, or even investment goals. Past performance doesn't guarantee future results, and always do your own research and consider consulting with a qualified financial professional before making any investment. All right, let's get on to the video.
Hey guys, my name is Steve and I run the Frugal Expat website where we try to help people to save more and invest better. And today we're talking about OVL, and is it the best S&P 500 options ETF that you could buy and hold right now? All right, let's get to it. Let's break down first of all a little bit about OVL, because maybe you've not heard of it. Now OVL is managed by Liquid Strategies, which is based out of Atlanta. Now Liquid Strategies started the fund OVL in 2019, and what it does, it holds about 100% of VOO, and it sells put options on the S&P 500. Now most people may be thinking that it could be similar to like an SPY, maybe a JEPI, maybe a T-SPY, but no, it's not like those. Those are all using covered call strategies, and OVL uses a put strategy instead. But a little bit about it just before we dive into the strategy. Now the assets under management is around 165 million. Probably it's growing depending on when you watch this video. The expense ratio is sitting at 0.79%, so it means it costs about $79 for every $10,000 invested. It's got a yield of about 10.5%, and so it's paying usually about quarterly, but recently it's changed to a monthly payment, and so that's where we get that yield of 10.5%. Now this ETF has been around for a pretty good long time, and if you take a look at the total return over the last 5 years since it's been going on, it has beaten the S&P 500, doing a total performance of about 87%, while the S&P 500's total performance is around 72%. Now this means that it's beating the S&P 500 by about 15%, and so that's good news if you're looking for a good ETF that tracks the S&P 500 and it's also making option income. Like I said, this is not a covered call strategy, it is a put strategy, so we're going to dive into the strategy and kind of figure out what the differences are, and to show you guys how this could be a different addition to your portfolio. Now most portfolios and most income strategy ETFs do something called a covered call strategy, where they have 100 shares of the underlying asset and they sell a call on it. Now OVL does something different. They do a put strategy, and you may not know what that is, and that's okay. So a put is basically you're selling the option to buy 100 shares of that asset, and you're getting paid a premium to buy it at the certain strike price. So let's say we have an asset like Apple, and it's selling at $200. And so what we want to do is we want to sell it, and we want to buy it at a cheaper price. So we're going to sell a put at maybe $180, and we're going to get paid about $2 for every share, which is about 100 shares. And so you're going to get paid that $200 premium in order to buy Apple at the price of $180. Now, if that price does drop to $180, we buy it. And if it drops below it, we still buy it at the $180 price. Even if the share drops to $170, we still buy it at $180 price, and we still get that $200 premium from it. So that's how a put options and selling puts works. Now with OVL, what it's doing is selling put options on the SPX. And so it's selling those and it's gaining a premium from it, and it still holds 100% in VOO. So this is very good if a bull market is starting to go, and it continues to go. And that's probably why you see OVL kind of dominating the S&P 500 since 2019. We've only had one bad year, which was 2022. The market went down about 18%, while OVL actually went down about 22%. But with the bull market going back in 2023, 2024, and doing really well in 2025, OVL kind of went back up as well because it holds 100% of VOO in its portfolio. And so you are getting exposure to the S&P 500, and you're also getting premium from it selling puts. Now, it has a put spread option overlay, and so what it's actually doing is it sells puts at a certain strike price, and then it's going to buy puts at a lower strike price to kind of cap the downside. So basically, if it hits that strike price for the puts, and then it's going to buy puts at a lower strike price in order to get more premium, but also capping the downside of the performance of the S&P 500. So that's how it's working, and that's how it's creating income on its portfolio. Now, since its inception, OVL has beaten the S&P 500, and if you take a look at the last 5 years, OVL has done about 87% in the last 5 years, while the S&P 500 has done 72%. And that's a 15% advantage for OVL. And right now in 2026, it has started paying monthly payments of about 10.5%. Now, you may be wondering where those are coming from. We'll talk about that with taxes very soon. Now, the big upgrade from OVL was moving from quarterly payments to monthly payments. So they were paying the same amount in the monthly and the quarterly payments that they were doing from the monthly payments. And so that is why the distributions have gone up. Now, the distributions right now are being taxed with ROC, so return of capital. So right now it's doing around 100% of ROC, and so it's returning 100% of that capital. Now, it could fluctuate between 90 to 100%. It just depends on how much premium they're getting and how much downturn the market is going to have. Now, in March of 2026, the market did have a massive downturn, but in April of 2026, it has gone right back up, hitting all-time highs, and it's continuing to fluctuate as the ceasefire is going on and the war in Iran is up and down. So, do I think that is just a great play? I mean, right now we're looking at a asset that's matching the S&P 500. It's paying 10.5% in return of capital as well, and so you're getting a good asset that's getting a pretty good price appreciation. You're getting a good asset that's also getting some good yield as well. You're getting a good asset that's giving some tax deferral instead of getting tax on those income. And so those are some couple of things you may want to consider and think about. Hey guys, if you like this video, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe. And here on the Frugal Expat, I am offering up some one-on-one coaching. The cool thing is, if you are looking for some help in your finances, you're looking for some help in creating portfolios, you're looking for some help on kind of figuring out your roadmap to financial success, I'm here to help out. I'm going to leave a link in my description and the pinned comments where you can sign up for a 1-hour session with me, Steve, where we can make a phone call together. We can go over, I got questions, I've got workbooks, I even have some income trackers to help you guys out. So let me know, sign up, and we'll help you to get from point A all the way to point Z. All right, let's get back to our video, and remember to make sure to hit that like button, subscribe, and let's get back. Now, a couple of things to also think about, some risk and some things to also think about with this ETF is, first of all, OVL has been around since 2019. It only has $165 million in assets under management. It could be higher when you watch this video, but it's quite low. And the reason probably it's been taken off recently is because of the interest in having monthly payments. I saw an Income Architect, Brad from Income Architect, has been talking about OVL. A lot of other people have been talking about it, and even people like you guys in my audience have been talking about it as well. And so with that, the hype in the performance could go up, and the assets under management could go up, which is good news for those that hold this ETF. Now, there are other ETFs from liquid shares, as in OVS and OVF. The one OVS tracks the small caps, OVF tracks the foreign, are quite small, and we're talking about small as in like 20 million assets under management for both. And so these are two that I probably would not go into as of yet, and just wait until maybe those assets under management get a little bit higher. Now with OVL, it is growing pretty quickly, and so that's good news. Now, in the past, probably there was a big whale that kind of owned a whole bunch of shares. They dumped them recently, but now it's back up, and so you're able to see that a lot of retail investors are kind of jumping in and allowing them to also be able to have exposure to the S&P 500, plus have a different strategy within their portfolio. You know, you've got SPY or SPYI that from Neos that does the cover call spread strategy, and so they have those assets and they sell them on the SPX as well. but they own the assets and they're giving you a pretty good yield of 12%. Now with OVL, you're owning VOO and you're also making premium through puts. And so that's two different strategies, two different ways to look at the S&P 500. So if you're looking for some pretty good price appreciation, some good total return, and some good yield, OVL could be a great one for your portfolio. If you're looking for a little bit more safety with something with a bigger assets under management, you could look at SPYI, which has got about 8 billion in assets under management. So it's much safer than OVL. Now the two are a little bit different, and so we're not gonna really compare the two, but they're just two different ways in getting exposure to the S&P 500 and using options as a means of getting income from these assets. Now, who is OVL really for? Now, first of all, I've mentioned some great things about OVL, and you're looking for some exposure to the S&P 500. You want some good appreciation, not even just price appreciation, but also some total return with it. And you're starting to get that 10.5% yield. So it's a great safe income ETF. It's got some good income, 10.5%, and that is tax deferred, so it's ROC. And so this could be a good one for those that are looking for income. They're looking for exposure to the S&P 500. They're looking for some growth because the S&P 500 is doing pretty good over the long term, and they're looking for good price appreciation and a different strategy besides covered calls. This could be a great ETF for your portfolio. Now, who is it not probably for? Now, it's probably not for those investors that are looking to accumulate wealth over the next 20, 30, 40 years. I mean, it could be a great one giving you income, but if you're looking for more growth and you want some more growth ETFs, I mean, there's plenty of them like VGT, QQQM, like SMH, PSI, SPMO, all those other great ones. Those could be maybe a better fit. Maybe if you're wanting to put those in maybe like a Roth IRA, well, the tax advantages really don't do much. You can still put in Roth IRA because it does have some good total return. But if you're wanting to use those tax advantages, it's probably better in the taxable account. But if you don't mind it, you can still stick in your Roth IRA, and because it's got a pretty good total return, good price return, and it matches the S&P 500. Those that are looking for assets that have huge assets under management, like I said, this has not got the biggest assets under management, and so it's going to continue to grow over time, and with the continued hype and people talking about it, it will continue to grow and push much higher. Right now, it just doesn't have the biggest assets under management, so that could be a worry for those that are looking for more stable and more concrete assets. Those that are looking for some of the highest yields, well, this one has a 10% yield. It doesn't have a 12% like a SPYI. It doesn't have a 14%. It doesn't have a 15% like a T-SPY. It doesn't have like those big 20 to 30% yields as well. This is a quite conservative 10.5% yield. And so if you're looking for a higher yield, this may not be the one for you. But if you're looking for a good moderate yield, like maybe a GPIX or a little bit more than GPIX, then this could be a good one for you. Now, is this the best S&P 500 income options ETF in 2026? Now, that's a great question. And if you take a look at my verdict, I mean, I think this is a great asset that you could add to your portfolio. It tracks VOO. So all those VOO people that talk about VOO, I mean, it's the largest ETF on the market today, the largest. And so this could be a great one. It's got a 10.5% yield, and that's pretty hard to kind of pass by. I mean, it's making some pretty good yield, and so that could be a selling point for you to add to your portfolio. And it's got some great tax benefits with the ROC being around 100%. You get that tax advantage, and it will continue to grow in price performance. If a bull market is still happening, this could be a great asset because it will continue to go, and it will continue to create great premium by selling puts. So, in my opinion, if I were to create a good 3-bucket portfolio with income, with growth, and dividend growth, and in my income portion of this bucket, I would add OVL. OVL is something different. It tracks the S&P 500. It's got a pretty good yield and a very good price appreciation. This is looking like a very good one. And when I did my live stream recently, and I'll leave a video up here of that live stream, you guys can check out where we built an income 3-bucket portfolio. And in that, we added OVL, and it was a great asset to put in there. So let me know in the comments, do you own any OVL? Is this something that's on your radar? Do you own any shares? Are there other ETFs I should be looking at? Maybe some gold, maybe some other assets, maybe some new ones that I haven't heard of. Let me know in the comments, and make sure to check out our video of that live stream about creating that income portfolio or a 3-bucket portfolio. All right, and I guess I'll see you guys in our next video.